What began as a love affair with go-karts for Melbourne-teen Hugh Barter, his dream of one day competing as an F1 driver is fast-tracking to becoming a reality. A move to Paris 2 years ago will next year see you race in the F3 class in Melbourne at the Grand Prix, the first time the F2 and F3 categories will be held before the big race. Joining us all the way from Le Mans in France with his rather exciting announcement is an exclusive interview with Hugh Barter and his father, Chris. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Exciting times. Hoping to get onto the grid in Melbourne. What can you tell me?
Yeah, so obviously next year the aim is to be on the grid in F3. Like Dad said, we have one offer currently. But yeah, that's the plan, and hopefully to be there next year.
Yep. Now, you've been on the Informer before. Do you want to catch us up on what's happened since the last time you were on?
Yeah, so at the end of last year, we decided to do 2 championships. We decided to do the Spanish and the F4, the French F4 again. And currently I'm sitting 3rd in the Spanish championship and 1st in the French championship. So it's going well. It's still, I would say, pretty tight in the French, considering we don't score points for 2 rounds because of regulations stating basically because we race in the Spanish at a certain track before the French do, we don't score points at that round. So it's still tight. We have a roughly 70 points lead at the moment. But yeah, without scoring points for 2 rounds, for sure the opposition's going to catch up.
Right now, Chris, I can only imagine what sort of money this has cost you as a father supporting his son there. Living in Le Mans now, you born in Japan, raised in Melbourne, all the way into Le Mans, and hoping to come back to Melbourne for next year's Grand Prix. It's a fairly exciting journey you've travelled with your son.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's been an amazing journey since he started, to be honest. I mean, since I think Hugh started in karts when he was 5, and the whole journey has been amazing. And I mean, personally, as a father-son, and also with his mother, it's been just amazing for all of us to grow up together and to travel. And I would say Hugh is one of my closest friends. I mean, yes, he's my son, and sometimes we get up on each other's goat and stuff like that. But like, it's just, I mean, go-karting and that environment, I would recommend for any father-son or father-daughter. It's a great family environment, and but obviously Hugh wanted more out of it, and there was you could see there was a skill set. There's been times where I had the speech ready for him to say, "Look, buddy, I don't think this is for you," and I've always I've had to go the other direction, and which is good, you know. And but you know, it's you only get one choice and chance, and we've just basically gone, right, let's give it a go. You know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but at least we gave it a go.
Fantastic. When you started off, did you have a little bit of natural talent, or did it take a while, or did it just click?
I think the basis skill was there, at least in my opinion. I think it took a bit to fine tune it and find my groove and feel where I was comfortable. I'd say that probably took a good 3 years, probably, I'd say. But in the end, I got there, and I think at this point, I know what I'm doing. So yeah.
More than you know what you're doing. How many championships have you won along the way?
I haven't actually won. Have I? I've won a lot of. I've won state titles. I've won rounds of the nationals. But we always seem to be coming a bit short, 5 points short. Just for purely from sometimes a bit of bad luck.
Technical.
Yeah. So in 2019, which is 2019, we
finished first and second in
No.
every round.
yeah, so we finished every round first and second, out of the 5 rounds, and we fell short of the championship by 5 points or something like this. It was very, very
Every
small.
round, every race counted,
Yeah,
and some of the races he
didn't finish because I had an engine problem, or I don't know, a wheel fell off. I don't know. There was a lot of problems in that year, but in the end, the pace was there, and we came home like every weekend with a first or a second. So it was a good year.
Yeah.
Chris, why go-karts? Were you into go-karts when you were younger?
No. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell, but I mean, the screen's quite nice. You can't see the rest of the body, but I used to play tennis and do triathlons, and Hugh, I don't know where it came from. Well, I took him to the Grand Prix when he was 2 years old in Melbourne, and he fell in love with it. And then go-kart when he was 5, and so I was always tennis or
You tried to take me to tennis?
yeah, I took him to tennis, took him to ballet classes, took him to all sorts of stuff, and it was always motorsport. And yeah, look, I did try to get him out of it.
Oh, it's worked out. Here you are talking to us from Le Mans in France, a fairly great place to be talking to us from. So it's an expensive sport to get into Formula One. What is the next step? Do we need sponsors? Do you get there on offers? How does it go?
Sponsors is basically how Hugh's here right now, and obviously the further he gets up in the categories towards F1, the more money he's going to need, and so we need sponsors. It'd be great to get some support back home for Hugh and his journey to F1, and because we're not talking small amounts of money, like it's so we need corporate Australia to get on board, and maybe someone like Qantas or some of the big boys to really sort of back an Aussie.
Yeah. I think a shoe manufacturer, given Ricardo's propensity for drinking out of a shoe, would be a great one for you.
Well, Hugh hasn't done a shoe yet.
No, not yet. When the time comes.
Apparently it's become an Australian thing now. Apparently we all do it.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be drinking out of used shoe than your sweaty old triathlete and tennis one, Chris. So
Yes, yeah.
Well, so what's next? What should we look for as Aussies, and where do sponsors actually find out about you? Where can they get hold of him if they're interested?
Anything, I would say.
All platforms.
Yeah, so I'm on all social media platforms. Well, basically, I think all of them.
Yeah,
but I think you can probably contact me or Dad through the Hugh Barter Racing website. Also, email or if you Facebook, anything really works. If you contact us,
Hugh Barter Racing.
Yeah, if you contact us, for sure you get a reply. So.
Well, great stuff. Thanks for getting up early to talk to us all the way from Le Mans, and good luck doing it. Hopefully we'll get to see you on the grid here in Melbourne next year for the Grand Prix.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.